Hi guys, my name is Shashank Gupta and from the platform of iQuanta, I'm out here to help you all with your verbal ability. Meet my team, Inderjeet sir, our founder, and the rest of the faculty. We are out here to help you with your entrances, right? But more than that, I'm out here for verbal ability and I'm going to give you a thorough thought process about how to go about and crack these papers and get to your dream college. If we look at it, that we have, you would find that English is everywhere. Be it CUT, IPMAT, that is Indore, then there is Rohtak, then there is JIPMAT, which is for Jammu and Bodh Gaya, and then we have got SET, which is for Symbiosis, and NPAT, which is Narsi Monshi, and many more, of course. Fine. If I look at it, the difficulty level of these papers are easy to moderate. Fine. Sometimes they become a bit, highly spirited, and the papers become a bit tricky. Moreover, the marking schemes are different for different papers, out of which, if I look at for Symbiosis and NPAT, which is Narsi Monji, we'll see that there is no negative marking. But on the rest, if I look across for CUT, it is -1. If I look across for IPMAT, all the IPMATs and JIPMAT, we would have -1. Okay. The number of questions that we are expecting that we see out here, we have got 50 questions coming across in CUET, around 30 questions in IPMAT, Indore, 40 questions in Rohtak, 30 questions in JIPMAT, 16 questions in your Symbiosis, and 32 questions in your Narsi Monshi. Fine. More importantly, if you look at it, the type of questions, like this is something similar to all of them. So I've grouped it in a single place. Something like reading comprehension, we have got vocabulary, we have got grammar, parajumbles, synonyms, antonyms, sentence correction, fill in the blanks, and para completion. So all these questions, they may vary in their degree, in their pattern, right? Somewhere they might ask you that, okay, find the error in the question. In some other place, it might ask you that which would be the better phrase. In some questions, it might also ask you which of the following part or phrase is correct. Fine. So instead of asking error, they are actually also asking which is the correct part. Understood? So let's move ahead. Should we be a casual about English? Now, this is one big major question for all of us because it is something that I have seen in my 15 years that children, aspirants, make the mistake of their life by taking English as a subject. More than that, they don't give a dime whether they would go across with this subject or not. They feel that if they go across with other subjects, it would help them. But if they go across with English, it would just be, it can easily be done. Something like that, right? Let's see. So English can be your bestie. So it can be your best friend, okay? It can give you great marks, okay? It can actually save your day for that matters. Or your biggest nemesis. All those students who have actually given the paper, you can ask them, you can ask your seniors, they would definitely agree with me when they would say or when they would inform you that it was because of English that they got through the paper, or it was because of English that they could not, right? So that's why you need to definitely make it your bestie. There is no other option. The other one is accuracy in English is a win-win. If you have a great accuracy in English, I'm telling you, there is nothing like it. It's going to save your day. Definitely, I'm telling you, right? So it is always going to be a win-win situation for you. If you are having a great accuracy, if you are getting good answers out of English, so this is again important. Having a weak verbal can't be covered in a fast track course. So all of you who are thinking that you have time, that you would be able to do it in 1.5 months, I'm so sorry guys, it is not so. And with the cutoffs reaching the sky, it is definitely, we cannot go across with a fast track course and get quick results, right? Next, getting 100% in verbal section is actually a possibility. Even this year, the previous year, and every year, it has been clearly seen that there are so many students who have actually got 100% results in their English part, right? Next part, there are many lists and rules to go through. Yes, definitely. Because at the end of the day, if you think that English is just to something that you can go across and do with your feelings, it is never going to work for you. Because in English, you have to go through lists like vocabulary list, idiom list, exception list, and so much more, right? Phrasal. Then we have got rules, as in rules for noun, rules for verb, and again, goes on. So you have to go through them in order to crack this paper. It is not only about the entrance, but also an overall betterment. And at the end of the day, as I say, English is never a subject, it's a language. And it is going to stay out here because it is going to be used everywhere, whether you are communicating to someone, whether you are presenting someone, whether you are giving an interview, you need English by your side. So do not waste time on this. Let's move ahead. Advantage iQuanta. So what is the advantage you are going to get when you join me at iQuanta? You're going to get a complete playlist where you have everything present out there and you can study as much as you want and as many times as you want. You can revise, you can ask me doubts, whatever you feel like. Major concepts are covered out here, which we see we have been working on this, we have been analyzing all the previous year papers, and we have understood what exactly is needed in these papers. So that's why major concepts are covered out there as per the entrances. We have extensively followed the PYQs. We have come across with all the PYQ sections so that we can help you out. You understand what kind of questions are being asked, what is the pattern, what is the level, what is the degree, and in that way you would be able to crack the paper. Practice sessions. Now I'll give a 3 tick out here because that is where we work a lot. Team iQuanta is known in the market, in the industry, for the rigorous practice session that we provide to all our students. The mentorship. The mentorship is where I meet you, I help you, I guide you, I answer every question of yours. And then there is a career planning where we can also help you out. What are the alternates? What is your question? What is your aptitude and where you should go? So, as I would say, I've got you covered, right? All you have to do is join me out here as early as possible. Before I start with the playlist, I would like you people to go through this list and see the kind of questions we would have, right? So, I have majorly broken the whole thing into 3 parts. The first part is vocabulary, based on vocabulary. What kind of questions we can have? We can have synonyms, which is similar meaning words. We have got antonyms. Antonyms are the opposites. Then we have got one word substitutions, right? One word substitution is basically like if I say a person who collects stamp, what is he called? So what would be one word for that? No, definitely it is not stamp collector. It is, what is it called? It is called as philatelist, right? So there are so many words which we can learn from here. Then we have got odd one out. So a word is being used, either way it is grammatically incorrect, or it does not make any sense, or it is syntax is wrong. So we figure out in this odd one out. Figure of speech, what is that? So all the literary devices, all the poetic devices, they might also be a part of your paper. Then we have got parts of speech coming across. Parts of speech is noun, pronoun. So you need to identify them, whether it is a noun or a pronoun or a gerund or it is something else, maybe a verb, right? Let's move on. What do we have? Spellings. This is one big problematic area, right? Why? Because whenever we talk about spellings, what really happens is like I have seen people who actually go about and give a wrong spelling. They spell the word receive wrong, right? So what is exactly the spelling of receive? So if you remember that whenever we have a C, I cannot write IE, it has to be EI. So you would always remember the spelling of the word receive. It is going to be RECEIVE. Okay. Next, move on. We have got analogy. Analogy is word association. Okay. So simple, but very effective to learn more words. Okay. Then we have got idioms and phrases, right? So idioms are like when we say like beating around the bush. Okay. Uh, uh, when pigs fly, and so many others which can be used in idioms and phrases, right? Then we have got phrasal. Phrasal is something to do with like when I say look up, look down, look upon, look after. So there are so many combinations out there. These combinations come under phrasal. We have got foreign words like tete-a-tete, okay? There is vis-a-vis and kitsch, uh, pro rata, right? So there are so many words coming across because English is not a very pure language. It has taken so many words from foreign uh, uh, languages, right? So they all come across with into this part, right? So this is your vocabulary section. Then we have got grammar section where we would be learning the error spotting, which part has the error, and then improvement based. Fine, improvement based is a sentence would be given across and they would mark a part of that sentence, or they would ask you like if the whole sentence can be changed or not, which would be a better option. So that's why these two things, they both are talking about based on grammar. Okay, but if you ask me, it is always grammar as well as sense, right? It also has to make a sensical sentence. Next part comes across, which I call it as verbal ability, because now that you have learned how to create a sentence, now you know about the words. How do I place them? How can I use words to make an interpretation, right? So that is why verbal ability is important, where we have got para-based questions, where we have reading comprehension, we have got para-jumble, para-completion, para-summary, and sentence sequencing. Okay? Of course, you would get to know about all these questions. You just have to stay tuned with me. Next, what do we have? Fill in the blanks. So what happens in a fill in the blanks? We have got single, double, and triple blanks, right? Then we have got closed test. Closed test is nothing but we have got a complete paragraph, and there might be somewhere around maybe minimum 3 blanks would be there, or it can go up to 10 blanks, and you need to find out what all would come across so that the whole passage, the whole paragraph would make a meaning out there. Next part is sentence completion. Sentence completion talks about how a sentence is to be completed. So it can be with a phrase, it can be with a vocabulary, a single word, or it can be with a phrasal, idiom, anything, right? So that is your sentence completion. Then we have got match the following, right? So in CUET and many other papers, we have seen match the following coming across where it can be asking any question out of these, right? So it is actually a pattern, okay? Next, what do we have? We have got replacements. So replacements is where a word is given across out there, or a phrase is given across out there, and they would underline it and they would ask you like, do you need to replace it or not? Fine, it can be because of the grammar, it can be because of the meaning, it can be because of the sense, right? So again, a very important question. Then we have got sentence transformation. What all kind of questions you would expect in sentence transformation? We would have voice based. Okay, voice based is what? Active, passive, right? We can go from active to passive. Active to passive is basically if the active sentence is Ram eats mangoes, the passive would be mangoes are eaten by Ram. So that is how we go about. Okay, next is reported speech. Reported speech is direct, indirect speech. A said this to B, and then it goes on, right? So it's all the whole verbal ability along with vocabulary and grammar. This whole section, I'm going to bring it across to you. Why? Because I want you to succeed. Because iQuanta wants you to succeed. So stay tuned and let's move forward. Let's learn something more. Take care.